step in the same river twice. You ever look at a fire? You see the top of the fire, and it's constantly changing, but always the same. Or sit on the beach and look at the ocean. The same ocean, constantly changing. I moved out of the East Village a couple years ago, and I used to live on this block. Man, this neighborhood has gone to hell. There's more homeless people. Wow. And when I come back to my old neighborhood, it's almost like I have superpowers. You know, when you're walking down the street in New York, you always have your antenna up for danger. I've lived in this neighborhood 35 years. I can feel everything here. My awareness is like a couple blocks that way and a couple. I can feel it. Problems. Sometimes you're a part of a great scene. Like, your friends are doing work that is inspiring you. You're like, damn. They're taking it to a higher level. And that raises your game. You take it to a higher level. And you think it's gonna last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Robert Pritchard, the founder of Surf Reality, said, art chases real estate. I'm like, I didn't get that. He said, art chases real estate. I didn't get it. And now one of the best spaces I've ever been in, where people did alternative shit. One woman took off all her clothes and painted with her menstrual flow. Like, damn. Pretty good painting, too. Finger painting. His space became a Bikram yoga studio. Nothing lasts forever. That's what makes it even more precious. My friend Mr. Patrick says when you're about to move out of your neighborhood, you start to appreciate everything about it. The gardens. You miss things. And as you get older, the memories, they pile on top of each other, and it's like, it's hard for me to experience this place without the memories. Oh yeah, that place used to be there, and I used to date her, and wow. And you just gotta let it go. Everybody comes to the village and they're like, wow, I got here too late. I just got here in the 50s when the beatniks were here. I could have rode a train and been closeted gay. If I just got here in the 60s, oh man, I could have hung out with Hendrix and Dylan. If I just got here in the 70s, I could have been hanging out with Patti Smith, Ramones, and now they have CBGB's toilets in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That shit is nasty. You ever went to CBGB's? You don't want any part of your body to touch anything. Yeah. You're like, shit, yeah, motherfucker shot up there, and the needle's still there. I used to say, give me some East Village applause, right? And I see heroin is coming back. Like, wow. Why is that? Well, we invaded Afghanistan. Do I have to draw the whole picture out? We invaded Afghanistan, they have poppies, and we have an air force, and we have to pay for our war. To bring the crowd down. I was hanging out with a brilliant friend of mine. Brilliant friend. I said, how are things going? It was pretty good. Now that I'm not selling heroin anymore. Like, damn. I go, well, how much did he sell? He goes, well, in 2 years, I made $900,000. What? Damn. Because what people don't realize is, you take the first pack, they just give you the first one. And the next time you need 2 packs. And then you're up to 100 of them. Each time you need more. That's what New York City used to be for me. It was like a hard drug, you know, hard to leave. And then, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I learned how to drive. I met my wife, she's from Georgia. She goes, I'm not marrying a man who doesn't know how to drive. Oh, shit. So like around 45, I had to learn how to drive, right? So when you're 45 and you don't drive, you shouldn't get a fast car. I got a Prius. That shit is slow. You gotta lead foot it and then it goes a little bit fast. And you think you know New York, right? I knew everything in the village, right? But literally, 1 block outside of 14th Street, I'd be lost. My friend Rick took me to 14th and C, and I was on Stuyvesant side, you know, Stuyvesant town side. Like, where are you? Where are you, man? Where are you? I had no idea where I was. And I got a car. And every time I drive across the George Washington Bridge, it's like a rocket leaving the atmosphere of the earth. Things get lighter. Lighter. It's like when you travel to another country. It's like you rip the top of your head up. And it's like a sponge. You look around, you're like, damn. Germany. They got different shaped cars. And buildings. That's some shit. I went to Asia. They have different shaped fruits. That will flip you out. You go down the fruit stand, there's a fruit you've never seen. It's like, what is that? I go, well, how do you eat it? He goes, you chop it in half and eat the middle. That's the rule to life. Chop it in half and eat the middle. For our next number. New York, you ever feel like everything is racing? The thoughts, the electricity, it's just racing through your body. And you're wired and tired. You're like just walking around the city. The shit is sparkling and it's alive. I used to have to take 2 baths to calm down. That's some shit. And everything in my house used to be purple. Like lavender this, and relaxation this, rejuvenating this, everything just to calm down. And I have a pretty good life, so my life is pretty calm. I don't really have that many financial worries, I'm lucky. And I'm like, damn. I once told a friend, I think I'm gonna retire. And he goes, well, how are we going to tell the difference between you retiring and you now? And I'm walking around, I'm stressed out. I'm like, damn, if I'm stressed out, thinking about how the average motherfucker is. You wake up inside an apartment, inside a box. You go to work, your work consists of you staring at a box. If you do well at your job, in the cubicle, they give you the corner office, the big box. You come home at night to relax. You turn on them. And your world's getting smaller. When you die, they put you inside a... And how do you get outside of this box? You ever take mushrooms?
Yes.
Yeah. And go hang out in nature? If you can't hang out in nature, hang out in a park. Mushrooms, they're a happy psychedelic. People usually don't have bad trips on mushrooms. I was tripping on mushrooms in my favorite garden. And I'm staring at a tree. The branches and the leaves. That is so beautiful. Nature. Nature is genius. And I used to worry about genius and talent. Am I talented? Am I a genius? I don't want to do it unless I have talent. And I'm staring at this tree, I'm like, wow. Genius is just a man comparing himself to another man. I said to a friend of mine, I'm worried about if I'm talented. He goes, you can't control that unless you eat a lot of ginkgo biloba. Like a lot. Why don't you focus on what you can control? Your work habits. Shit, you're right. Stand, nature, genius. I think I got it all worked out. And an hour goes by. I'm like, oh my God. Man is part of nature. Didn't know how to work it out. I'm at the Frick in the basement. I'm looking at these Rembrandt drawings. Walking by, looking at Rembrandt drawings. And one of them comes alive. I'm like, and I wasn't on drugs or anything. I was like, damn. Now I know why they call him an old master. That's amazing. You create a piece, and then at a certain point, if you're lucky, you breathe life into the thing, and the thing comes alive. And you step aside and let the thing go the way it wants to go. The thing is alive. It's genius when I realize that I'm just the filter. I'm the filter. Like a coffee filter. Just straining out the impurities, right? The essence comes through. So you can't have a big ego if all you are is a filter. Sometimes I can feel the energy going through my body. Sometimes I can cycle it. Meditating. the way, this is Jonathan Wood Vincent. Give me a round of applause. You ever been so disturbed? So just racing so quick. I used to have a homeless guy, Tiger. He lived on my block. He saw me do martial arts shows. I would chop a cucumber in a guy's stomach with a sword blindfolded. I would break 3 boards on fire with my hand, and people would give me money. Because people like it when Asians break things. So he decided that he'd live on Master Lee's block. Like, alright, cool. So this homeless guy is living on my block. And he goes, Master Lee, teach me. Like, wow. That's a lot of responsibility. First of all, you're homeless. So I was like, what can I teach this guy? It's like the medicine thing. First, don't harm the patient. So I started teaching homeless guys walking meditation. Figuring, how can that go wrong? It's like Steiner, you know that guy, Waldorf? He did this thing where you would sit and you would meditate in front of a tree every day for an hour. How can that go wrong? At the worst, you wasted some time. And I talk about walking meditation. You clasp your hands like this. Or like this. And you walk. And you try to get to the pace where you're actually calming yourself. And you contemplate all life is change. Whatever crazy stuff's going on in the tape loops, all life is change. Because there's a lot of burdens on you. First of all, you're Americans. So you wiped out a group of people, Indians. And I'm walking with this guy, Tiger. It's calming your body. I'm with another friend of mine. Albert Owens, a brilliant comedian. I'm saying, Albert, how do you do such great performances? He goes, well, I do this freedom exercise. What's that? Well, I walk a block and I have complete freedom. I can do anything I want, or nothing. I can walk at the pace I want. I can sit down and read. I'm not rushing to get to the end of the block. I have complete freedom. I go, I want to do that. He goes, oh no, Master Lee, you can't handle the whole block. How about just from here to the lamppost? Like, alright, fuck it. And the shit was hard. You have complete freedom to do whatever you want for this 10 feet or so. And now I made it even bigger. I feel like every time I go on stage or I perform, I can have complete freedom. I don't have to follow the script, as you can tell. You can do anything. Or nothing.
and gentlemen, you guys are listening to Master Lee. He's gonna do 10 more minutes. I'm gonna come around with the Madeline tip jar for him. $5 suggested donation. Please get some money ready. Put your hands together one more time for Master Lee.
Remember, people, thank you, Sidewalk, and last night, Antifolk Festival, the more money you give, the more money we have. Took me 2 years to write that joke.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to listen to Richard Pryor. Yeah. For me, he told the truth. And he talked about going to Africa, and how that blew his mind. I never really understood until I went to China. Whoa. I go to China. Suddenly, there's over 1 billion of me. That's crazy. And you go to New York City, you go to Chinatown or Wall Street, and it's crowded. That's not crowded. You go to Hong Kong, and there's 4 times as many people as in China, and you're like, damn. And then you go to China, and there's like 10 times as many people. Damn. I was crossing the street. 10 rows of people. Like ants. 8 rows of bicycles. 6 rows of cars. And then you're halfway across the street. Shit's mind-blowing. And I got in a cab. And I'm used to New York City cab drivers, you know, when they used to have steel bumpers. They would hit you, they don't care. And this guy is driving fast. I'm like, he's like literally coming this close to people. I'm like, damn. And I'm like, oh my God, this is worse than Thailand. And he's almost hitting people. He's driving full speed, almost hitting people, clipping people. I'm like, damn. How's he doing that? And that's when I got a deeper understanding of Tai Chi. Sometimes you can feel the energy. The guy who invented Aikido, the way of peace and harmony, he was a black belt in karate, in judo, in kendo. It got to the point where nobody could beat him. And then it got to the point where he would see the energy of the people who were about to attack him. It's like, damn. And then he created the way of peace and harmony. It's a thing where sometimes on a really good show, or maybe if you're creating like a masterpiece or something, everything clicks and you can feel the whole energy of everything. It was Halloween, and I'm playing poker in an illegal card room on 14th Street called PlayStation. And every half hour, they charge you for your seat. And I had 3 parties to go to. I'm like, all right, if I'm down a half hour, I'm gonna leave. And then the strangest thing happened. I could see the whole table. I knew exactly what the person was gonna do before they did it. That guy's bluffing, raise. That guy's got a hand, fold. And after a while, when you can see the whole table for 4.5, 5 hours, I had a triple stack of chips, racks of chips. Then the other players get scared of you because you can read their minds. I was trying to learn how to juggle 7 balls. in the squash courts at Hunter College, one floor below the subway. And I'm throwing them up. They're falling and picking them up, throwing them up. They're falling, picking them up. And then at one point, the whole pattern slowed down, like, damn. And the balls got really big in my hands, like softball size, and really small at the top. And the whole pattern slowed down. And then I realized, it's not 7 things. It's only 2 things. It's the pattern, and then any aberration. You just gotta bring the aberration back into the pattern. In chess, they call it chunking. You're not thinking about every piece and you're thinking about waves and movements and pattern recognition. That's what it feels like on a really good show. For our last number, somebody yell out.
Battle of Hastings.
Okay. I heard the I Ching. So I want to do the I Ching. So I want to find the best translation. Looking. Finally, I find this gray copy, the Yale Bollinger copy. Like, this is the one. The preface is written by Carl Jung. I'm like, that's a good start. And I buy this book. And, I'd throw the coins, and then after a while, I would just turn to a page randomly, and I would look at it, read it. That shit is mysterious. Close it. Put it down for years. Open it back up. Shit is still mysterious. When I first began, I just wanted to learn skills. So I learned juggling, martial arts, and comedy. Then I wanted to be like certain people. Just listen to every Richard Pryor album, everything, Robin Williams, everything. Just taking it all in. Steve Martin said there's 2 things. You copy people, and second, you hide your roots. Then you create original work, hopefully. And then you get to a point where it just flows. It's crazy. And the years go by, and you're like, maybe 10,000 hours or whatever. They go by. And then you don't want to do the thing anymore. You're like, I spent all this time getting really good at this thing, and now I don't want to do it anymore. And then the years go by. You don't want to become bitter, and the years go by. And then I had a son. He's turning, he's 3 today. And I go to Canada because it's friendly. It's like the first chapter of a Stephen King novel. They're just friendly motherfuckers. Sure. You leave your bag there, it's gonna be there. And I want to show my son street performing because, that's all I got to teach you, dude. You want to learn how to do fire? I'm the dude. Right? And then we go to a street performer festival, and 2/3 of the people are using fire. And he's watching and kind of bored a little bit. And he would watch one show a day. Then he'd look at this clock and he'd go, "Clock?" And he was more interested in the clock than people doing fire. And I wanted to say, son, someday all this can be yours. If you want. You can get stoned and talk shit. We're I Ching. We talk shit. Phoebe Novak is next. Thanks.